Physical therapist with Run Smart Online. I want to talk to you guys about shoes. Like always, I had patients today and we had these same conversations, and I want to show you some run analysis from the past. Nothing from today, but from a past runner. We help with shoes because if you've ever been in a shoe store recently, they have you stand and they look at your running or your foot and they just give you kind of some arbitrary objections, arbitrary recommendations on what you should be wearing. But I want to show you an analysis that we do, because if you can understand movement, like your foot, looking at your foot just standing there is way different than looking at it when you run. So we have this cool offer up where you can actually have us analyze your running just like I'm about to do and save 20%. That offer is going away soon, but you can check out the link in this post if you want more help. But I want to go right into it. I want to show you this runner. It's a foot view, which is one of the views we do in our analysis, our run analysis. And if you understand this, like how does the foot react to the ground and how your shoes matter and how it plays back into your strength, because your run form will matter on your foot mechanics, what shoes you buy, how to go about this. So let me go ahead and go to the analysis for you. So obviously, no surprise here, we're looking at a shoe view of a runner. So I'm just gonna make sure we're in frame here. And what we wanna do is we wanna just talk about normal foot mechanics. I think it's a good place to start for everybody. So let's go to the other side. We're just gonna watch her land on her left foot. So what you'll see here is that she's kind of toed or tipped in and she's landing on the outside board of her foot. That is natural. A lot of people say, I wear on the outside part of my shoe. Completely natural. You should, because that sets up the chain response. Let me go ahead and just show you quick. I'm going to nerd out a little bit here. So if you're a nerdy runner, you're going to like this one. So the foot's going to hit on the outside border over here. And what it's going to do is it's going to set the body up to spin inwards. And that spinning inwards is how you shock absorb. So she's landing on a rigid foot on the outside border of her foot. That's going to cause the whole foot to spin in, which you see here. And that is the shock absorption phase. So what we do in our analysis is we look to see, are you over shock absorbing or over what's called pronation? And is it an issue with shoe wear, or is it an issue with your strength? So with this runner, we'll see her pull through. And one of the things I'll have you look at is, I talk about it all the time, is that running is not just a foot activity. You have to look at the foot, the knee, and the whole chain. And in this runner, we do look at the whole chain part of the analysis. But look at her knees when I go back to this. See how her knees are buckling inwards, they're touching. The whole leg is collapsing down and in. So what it tells us immediately is that there's some strength issues and an opportunity to probably change the shoes to give a little bit of support and help under that foot. Because she's going to end up, let me draw on the line here, she's going to end up riding hard on this inside border. She's going to overstrain her knees here, and then she's setting herself up for injury. Now, if you watch her come towards push-off, you see how she's still, and it might be tough to understand and see, but she's still on the inside border of her foot. At this point, we expect the foot to start turning back to the original spot and getting to more of a neutral position. When this doesn't happen, you're delayed. You're increasing your risk for plantar fascia issues, your knee issues, Achilles issues, because the foot's not set up properly. So we'll come to see her push off, and let me just go back to my full screen just to summarize. When you land on the outside border, then you flatten, but when you come back towards push off, you should turn back in to create a rigid lever to push off on. So let's go back to her. And now she pushes off, and now watch her foot turn out. You see that whip of the foot? She was never set up from the start. So one of the easiest things to do is if you see someone's foot whip, it's because they're not set up through the proper cycle when they run, and it ends up breaking down the body. Now again, if you want help with this with your own running, go ahead and check out the link in this post. This is how we dissect our runners in our analysis. We give this runner drills and exercises to help them. Let's just take a look at the other side, because you're going to see some similar things. She's going to land, and then you can watch that foot and how hard she's, let's see if we can zoom in and do this the right way. See how she's on her big toe at this point and her heel is lifting up? She's overloading that whole foot. Plantar fascia is just screaming right now for help. So we look at this and say, okay, what can we do? Now watch her, she tries to get the push off phase at the right spot, but watch that foot whip out to the side. Let me zoom out a little bit. You can see how far out the toes point. So often we see runners we often see them deal with plantar fascia issues, knee issues, a lot of different things. But aside from an injury standpoint, this really makes it difficult. If you're going to take a stride and you're going to run, you want to take all that energy that you're using anyways and have it push you forward down the road. This is energy leakage everywhere. So this is a runner that we took. We gave a bunch of exercises to, training to help her on these things. But the key thing is identification, right? If you're training for a race and you want to do better, which I think all of us do in our own regard, but mainly, the runners we want to work with want to stay healthy above everything else so they can continue running. You need to identify these things early. So if you want help with your identification process to help you understand your running more, go to the link in this post. We have an offer up where you can actually save, and it expires, depending on when you watch this, it's expiring soon. Hopefully this was helpful for you in nerding out with me. Check out myrunform.com if you want some help with your running, and I hope everyone has a great day. All right, goodbye everyone.